Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the Fresh Squeeze podcast, hosted by me, Justin, and here with Jeremy.
Woo!
And, well, whoop, whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
This week, we're having a bit of a continuation of last month. We talked about all things tech-related.
Part 2.
So we're having part 2. If you didn't listen to the last one, we talked mostly about how we think modern technology has progressed to today's standards.
Is that when we also talked about social media?
Yeah, okay, we talked about iPhones and we talked about social media. And so we were going to talk about a whole lot of other stuff. But this week, we decided to cut it into 2 parts because there's a lot to talk about. Now we're getting even deeper into the technological discussion.
The technology onion, because it has layers.
Peeling back the tech onion.
Yes, the tech onion.
So we talked about literal devices.
Yeah.
And
social media platforms.
Online social presences. So this week we're talking about maybe some more controversial online technical things.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about still talking about things like Facebook, but how those are involved in controversial topics such as data tracking and online privacy.
Where's your data at?
I'm going to discuss our opinions on, is this something that you need to worry about, or what's your opinion?
Are you getting data zucked? We'll get into that.
What does that mean? And we're also going to talk about the new age of technological exchanging in the form of cryptocurrency.
And NFTs.
Yeah. What is it? Do you need to have any? We might not be the best source, but we'll tell you what we know.
Basically.
So, we're going to start this off. Technology. It's 2021. We are now in the age of everything is at your fingertips whenever you want.
I love technology.
Kip would go crazy these days.
Oh, yeah.
So, like we said, let's talk about some controversial deep topics.
Okay. Get into it.
So, nowadays, there was this thing on the interwebs called data tracking.
Mm-hmm.
So, apparently, this has been going on since, the beginning of the internet.
Yeah.
But let's discuss it so we can feel how we feel about it and maybe get some feedback. And so, basically, you see it in, the terms and conditions for every Apple product you buy and stuff.
Every app you download,
every website you go to,
at some point is going to ask you about data tracking.
And most people just say, okay, whatever. But for some reason, in recent years, people have gotten up in arms because apparently not everybody realized every time you go on the internet,
you're being tracked.
A company tracks what you do and sells that information to advertising companies.
Exactly.
That's,
whether you know it or not.
It's usually happening without you knowing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when you hit a website, it'll say, oh, can we track your location, or can we track your interactivity on this website?
Yeah.
You're like, sure, whatever. It sometimes pops up, accept cookies.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about baked ones.
I'm talking about grandma's cookies.
We're talking about, well, I don't know how to describe cookies.
We're talking of, the cookies, they're basically just like little bytes of data that the website contain that you have to use the website.
Right. It's just another little
little
part.
Yeah.
That is part of tracking. So, does it sound like a big deal? No.
But some people make it a big deal.
For some reason, there was some overanalyzing, overblown Karen person out there who was like, oh my gosh, you know what I was looking at on TJ Maxx?
Oh my gosh.
And I went on Google and they give me an ad for it? Why is that?
Unheard of.
So, this is for some reason a big problem with the common folk.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, obviously, I feel like it's something to be mindful of, because obviously, technically what you are doing on the internet is being tracked and looked at and, like we said, sold. And I mean, when we say that, basically what they're doing is, let's say you go to a certain website quite often.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to see, and when we say they, we're it's probably like your internet provider and other people like that. Because what they're doing is, so let's say Justin goes to, give it a website, Justin, like something, I don't know, let's say like YouTube. I don't know. Okay.
I guess. Yeah. I didn't,
or no, let's.
talking. You want shopping or
yeah,
you
just
want
shopping. Just throwing out there.
You're going on. You're looking on Nike for some new kicks.
Okay, so let's say Justin's looking for some fresh pair of shoes, and over the course of a week, he goes on Nike's website multiple times. They're gonna see, hey, this guy has been frequently going to the Nike website, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is, it also bases it off of the information they know about you. So they're gonna be like, hey, so this person, he's a guy, he's a pretty young guy, and he's going to this website often, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna take those things about who you are and where and what you like, what websites you like to visit.
Yeah, it's not only that they share your tracking data, it's like non-sensitive personal data.
Yeah, so they're gonna be like, he's of this age range, he's this gender, and and he goes to this website often. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna take that and they're gonna sell it to the advertisers. So those advertisers, and if they get a lot of the same data, those advertisers are gonna be like, okay, so this age range of people goes to our website constantly, so we're going to curate ads and things towards them so they will keep continuously coming back.
And that could be on your browser, it could be when you open Facebook,
it could be anywhere. And because what that does is, let's say Justin's again looking at some shoes, but he's been looking for a couple days, but he doesn't know about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he's not on Nike's website, they're gonna show him ads of those same shoes he was looking at on Nike on different websites. So they can keep, so they make sure that idea of buying those shoes stays in Justin's head. So he'll be like, well, he'll see like, well, maybe I should buy it. Or, hey, there's those shoes again.
Yeah.
I did really like those. And then what they want you to do is, over time of seeing it enough, then you'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go and buy those shoes.
Correct.
So then the advertising will have worked because it will have curated to him.
Yeah, it's at its core, it's just a simple marketing tool.
Realistically, it's helpful. Like, there are many times, even on like social media like Instagram, there are many times where I'll be scrolling through Instagram stories or just on the feed, and I'll see an ad for clothing of either a brand or for a some sort of entertainment that I like, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool, and I might buy that. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Because
and that's what its job is. They're trying to do their best to sell something
in a good
to
way.
you.
They showed me something that I was interested in that I didn't know about, but they said, hey, he likes this thing and he likes this thing together, so let's show him these things that are also related to that, and he might like them. And then, if you do, then great,
Yeah, like you said, sometimes I do think it's helpful. I'll look at something on a website, and then a couple days go by, I'll be looking at another site. I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot I was looking at this. I might want to check this out again.
Exactly.
Or you said also, it can optimize your searches and give you recommendations for similar things that you might like.
Yeah. So obviously, like we said, the big picture, is they just take, statistics from the demographics that go to each website and how often they do it. Because then, like you said, that helps marketing companies, make their marketing material. So
yeah, right.
And now obviously some woke person will come on here and tell you that it's a national tragedy that they do this. Realistically, it's not that big of a deal.
It's pretty harmless.
It's realistically, they're just saying, hey, you like to go here, so we're going to show you stuff like that. It really affects you in no way. I mean, but then, people still get offended that they're being, oh my gosh.
I can't
believe they're showing me what I want to see. That's uncalled for.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Would you rather just see non-relevant things?
Yeah, I would rather see things that I'm already interested in than random things that I literally have that don't pertain to me at all.
Like, it even works, with like YouTube ads and other visual marketing on the internet.
The only downside is sometimes you look at something just once, and then you'll see it for like
weeks. You see it. So sometimes I'm very careful. I'm like, do I want to look at this at the site that I will look at a lot? Because then I'm gonna get ads about it.
Yeah. Because like you look at it once, and then you'll get it for like days, and it's like, okay, I just wanted to check it out one time. I wasn't actually planning on buying this.
Right. Or if it's one that you get email subscriptions to would be like, are you sure you don't want to look at this again?
Yeah, I know. I think that's crazy. Yeah, like I'll look at something and then like 2 hours later they're like, oh, we saw you were looking at this. Are you sure you didn't want to buy it? I'm like, whoa, I just was checking out a sale. You know, I'm just looking.
And once again, some people would call that quote unquote creepy, but it's still a harmless tactic.
Yeah, they're just saying, hey, we just want to make sure you didn't want to buy this, you know?
So personally, when it comes to simple tracking like this, I think it's harmless. I have no problem with it at all.
Base level like this, there really is no issue with it.
So if we're going to be honest, most people of the younger generation don't bat an eye at this.
No.
If we're going to be honest, it's mostly people of the Gen X to older who freak out at this kind of stuff because they just don't understand how it works.
Yeah, but we're here to educate.
Education is key when embracing the
technology.
Future.
Yo, the future is now, old man.
Yeah. So if you are someone of the above millennial demographic, do not fret. You are not being tracked. Well, yes,
you're being tracked, but don't worry.
But not in a malicious way.
Yep. Those cookies, you can't dip them in milk, but they won't hurt you either.
I like that. So yeah.
I think that sums up general online tracking.
General online tracking. Where do we draw the line? Just sharing non-sensitive personal data.
Yeah. Now it is but now when they cross the line of privacy and go like, you know, into your personal things,
like if it starts, that's why I don't like signing into things with Facebook, because then you have to see what it's asking permission to do. Usually it's like, oh, can we see your profile picture and your status or whatever? But sometimes it's like, can we post a Facebook for you?
And I'm like, no, what?
Can we set out a status for your friends to see?
Yeah, like obviously I don't use Facebook at all now, but like still it's like, no, you can't do that. Like,
so that's why when there's like a Google sign in, that's the way to go. But
yeah, I always do Google. Yeah.
So yeah. See, yeah, privacy rights are a very touchy issue, but if you're using secure sites and you're not sharing your banking information, like, who cares?
Then you're probably fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So, but I guess one standout reason as to why this has gone into the media the past few years is once again because of what Facebook does.
I'm not going to say Facebook is the root of a lot of problems.
They are the root of a lot of technological internet problems.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Zuckerberg, CEO of...
AKA the Lizard Man.
The Lizard Man, AKA the Zuck.
AKA barbecue sauce on the shelf.
AKA just... That's all we got.
That's all.
But he's got a lot of names. Mark Zuckerberg, leader of Facebook. Remember
leader, what is it, a colony? Yeah, I am the leader of Facebook, the CEO.
So, remember a few years ago, they literally took him to court because they were like,
yo, you got to stop doing this.
Granted, I don't know what the severity of the selling of the information was.
I actually don't know. I just saw the memes, honestly.
Yeah, we just saw the memes. You should have worn your shirt.
Oh, I should have. Yeah. But yeah, basically Mark Zuckerberg went to like federal court or something. I don't know what level. I don't know what level of court it was.
And they were like, pounded him with questions.
But they were like grilling him with questions on what he was using the data for, why he did it, what was the reason, you know, stuff like that. Because apparently he had, you know, Facebook had, you know, they had crossed the line of privacy and were, you know,
because it went to that level, it probably was further than they should have gone.
Oh well, yeah. There was no way that it went to that level without them crossing multiple lines of like red, you know, like red, like I don't know, caution, red tape,
red
flags, you know. But
yeah, I guess like we said, we don't necessarily have all the facts.
Yeah.
So we are not a news
reputable
podcast.
We're not a news outlet.
But we just like to discuss things that we hear about and think are relevant to us. But anyway.
Because of that court case, the term was coined data zucking. Okay, and that's not data sucking, zucking because of Zuckerberg. So he is the data zucker.
Yeah. So once again, if you go on Facebook nowadays, you're fine.
You're fine.
But for some reason, there must have been either it's totally possible that people just freaked out because they didn't know the demographic that uses this website did not realize that this was a thing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they went a little too far.
It was probably a little bit of both. They probably went farther than they should have, but also everyone was probably just a little freaked out.
Yeah.
So
all in all, we're still in a zone of where this is not only is it still not harmful, but now because of this, every single website has to go, will you accept our cookies? Will you accept our tracking?
Yeah, so because
It's
of that,
so
every
annoying.
website is on edge. I mean, because
well,
they don't want to be
for
taken
good
to court.
reason.
Yeah,
But
so every website you have to click, yes, I agree to your terms, or yeah, I agree to this. I'll let you use
when
this.
in reality, they had been doing it for years without telling you.
Yeah, so there's really no difference.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. It's just public now.
Yeah, everything's needed to be more public, which
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the best mindset, but the less I know is the better sometimes.
Hey, call him Tame Impala. That's a song.
That's a song?
The less I know, the better.
Hey, oh yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah,
another Facebook news.
It's meta.
Actually now. So, we just think this is kind of funny, and so do a lot of other people. So just recently, not Facebook themselves. Facebook is still called Facebook, but the company.
It's funny because when the news first break, they acted like the website Facebook was changing its
so
name.
Facebook, quote unquote, changed their name, and everyone was like, "What the heck? Why?" But Facebook, the website did not change their name, but the company
that runs it,
the parent company that owns and owns Facebook, they changed their name to Meta. And so everyone was like, why is Facebook called Meta now? But it wasn't. It was just
Meta Knight.
Meta Knight, yo. But
which honestly is a pretty basic
it's
name.
pretty weird name. And what also makes it funny is when they announced it, Mark Zuckerberg gave probably the most awkward announcement ever.
I didn't watch it, but I saw the memes from it.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't watch either, but I just saw some clips. And so now if this is too confusing, I'm sorry, but I'll try to explain it. But so they released something that they're working on called the metaverse. You ever hear about that? And basically,
I don't even understand it.
Basically, if you've ever seen the movie Ready Player One, it's basically that.
Oh, they want to make the Oasis.
They're in the process of making this virtual world where you can have a virtual avatar character.
And is it like a just for fun type thing?
I think so. I don't know the full details on it, and so they made this they're in the process of making this, I think, for the future. So people can spend time in the metaverse, and your character can look like whatever it wants. You can be whoever.
Zuckerberg looks like an alien. So.
And it's funny, because in the video it shows the real Mark Zuckerberg, but then next to him they showed his animated avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, and it was I don't know which one looked more like a robot, him or the actual computer version, but it was so funny. It was the most awkward thing. He was just doing his normal awkward face, it was so funny. And it was just the most bizarre and weird thing. I was like, who asked for this? What? First you changed the name, and now you're just like, yes, we're making virtual reality for everyone.
Yeah.
But
even though they're still one of the biggest companies out there on the internet, I feel like they're so how do I describe it? They're so, I don't want to say out of touch, but they're so random with
their, well,
the decisions of their company.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I think it's because there's no way they are now, but at one point, since Facebook used to be the top dog in respects to social media, and I just feel like internet
they were
companies
the one
in general, for a while they were yes, we are number one, and look at all these things we're making. But now that Facebook has kind of fallen off, and not as many people use it, and there's more just company brands on the internet that are bigger than Facebook now. I feel like they're just like, hey guys, we're still making things, by the way.
Right.
Did you want this? No? Okay, well, we made it anyway, So
Every time I see like it's usually controversy about Facebook and the media,
probably.
I cringe and I laugh.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Especially when they're talking to like it gets involved with politics and politicians are trying to understand how social media works.
Yeah. Oh my, that is the funniest thing I've ever
They're
seen.
like when they're talking about like, online bullying or something.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, "Oh, so we hear that many kids are getting bullied in the group chats and the DMs."
Oh my goodness, no! If you're getting roasted in the DMs, it's for good reason.
Or like, I don't know what they were saying for sure.
I remember one thing. It was the funniest thing ever. Do you know what a Finsta is, Justin?
Oh, I thought I heard about this.
It was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen on the news.
Please explain it.
Okay, so
this is what I was trying to think of.
Okay, so a Finsta, basically, nobody does this anymore. If you do, why are you doing this?
Oh, it means friend Insta, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is like years ago, and you do this, it's kind of cringy, okay? But people had Finstas, okay? Which is basically, so you had two Instagram accounts. You had your normal Instagram account for whoever the heck you wanted to follow you on there. You post stuff. But on your Finsta was only like your tightest, only close-knit people,
Yeah.
People who like you could post something and you didn't care to see it. Where on your normal Instagram, you would post more, like more things. You were just like, oh, I have to make myself look good.
I mean, for me, that's just my normal Instagram.
Exactly, I know. And it was funny because I remember on the news is some government guy. I don't know who.
I think I remember seeing the video.
And he was like, they were posting on their Finstas, and he was like, I believe a Finsta is, and he was trying to explain it, and obviously it was completely wrong. And he was like, what they need to do is stop posting on Finsta because Finsta is a bad platform. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, dude, Finsta's not a platform.
And then they were telling him, why don't you just discontinue the Finsta service?
Yeah, he was like, the judge was like, discontinue Finsta. And I was just like, that's not how it works.
It's just a loophole that kids find.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. Like they thought it was this like official like thing or this company thing. It's like, no, that's literally just a slang term that kids created for an alt Instagram account.
I'm glad you remember the full story because I couldn't.
Yeah, and they were just like,
so funny.
People are offended that they are not added to your Finsta, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Oh, that is too good.
It doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't get better than that. That's the best part of the news. Oh my goodness.
Okay. It's no wonder they changed their name to Meta because it's just something else.
And yeah, so that's the Facebook situation. That's all I gotta say.
So yep. Anyway, while we're still on the Meta company, I would like to express a few more Instagram complaints since our last discussion on this.
This dude was waiting.
We already, I haven't actually looked into it yet, but I keep seeing posts that they're phasing out IGTV.
Oh, thank goodness. Please.
Hopefully.
Literally nobody cares about that.
But, well, what do you know? The past few weeks, I don't know if I'm some sort of, like, guinea pig on the app.
Okay, you must have some...
I have some sort of, like, beta testing app.
I don't know if it's random, if you something in your settings, or what.
Let me explain
your
this.
Instagram's whack.
My Instagram is so whacked out right now. If anyone could relate to this, please reach out and tell me so that I know that I'm not the only one. But
because Justin tells me these things, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I still use the app every day, but it sucks.
Yeah.
The past few weeks, well, first there was the update that not just with IGTV, but with every video posted on Instagram, when you go to press on it to unmute it, it expands it into a viewing screen.
Yeah.
Does yours do that?
No, it doesn't. Every video.
Yes, every video.
Oh, see, so for mine, it's only the videos that are specifically the IGTV.
No, every video does that.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's so stupid, and it's so hard to unmute it. And the second of all,
we already know Instagram video audio is busted anyway.
Yeah, it's already a broken app. But where else are we gonna go?
Yeah.
And also, which is completely throwing off the workflow of where my fingers go in this app.
Yeah.
They switched the locations, if you know what the app layout is. They switched the locations for me of the Explore page and the DMs. They flopped areas.
See, but mine is still normal.
So instead of swiping left to get to your DMs, it goes to your explore page.
Yeah, that's
and now the
so
DMs are
weird.
on the main control bar.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's so broken.
I see, but mine is still normal. The only thing that I have noticed that is hit or miss is that like every video, whenever I started watching a video, again, it's always with these videos, it always says, it's always like auto-generated captions. Does yours have that?
For like when you make a post?
No. Every video I see has auto-generated captions for the video, even if the video is like
interesting.
Like no matter if it's in a different language or what. So I'll just be watching like just a random video on Instagram, and it'll have captions, and it's super annoying.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, because like the videos before your bad update. So my videos, they only take out. They're just the small post videos, but then there's these captions, and it's just super annoying. I think it's a bad feature. It's like you can't turn them off either. So
yeah. So yeah.
I mean, first world problems. Oh no, our social media is being weird.
But we could complain about a lot of other things in life, but this is what we're focusing on right now.
Yeah.
So I know this is gonna do nothing, and I'm usually not the kind of person who does this.
Oh my gosh.
I left a review on the App Store,
and
I told them to fix it.
Look at my man leaving reviews on the App Store, bro. I couldn't say the last time somebody left an
I
App Store
wasn't
review.
toxic. I was just like, I do not like your new update. Please put DMs back where it used to be, please.
I'm surprised you didn't just send a DM to the Instagram account.
Oh, I didn't even think.
I bet you it was like an Instagram support account. Because there's like the official Instagram,
Yeah, just the regular one.
Yeah. I bet you there's
How
like
about the
support.
Instagram, Twitter?
I think there is.
Is there?
There's probably a Twitter, Instagram.
I wouldn't.
Okay, this is probably the most confusing sentence everybody's ever heard, especially if you're not young and you're like Instagram, Twitter, Instagram. What? I thought they were different.
Man, forget it. I'm just gonna go get on Finsta, man.
Oh, dude, catch me and the homies on Finsta. All right.
Man, so end of IG rant.
We could probably move on to our next topic.
Okay. Let's talk about a less infuriating but more confusing topic of the next evolution of modern monetizing.
Modern monetary exchanging.
There you go. If you thought that stocks were confusing.
Oh, well, you aren't even ready for cryptocurrency.
But, when you think about it, stocks have been around for decades.
Yeah, they literally have.
And
yeah.
it's actually based within US dollars.
Okay, even though they're still confusing, stocks make more sense to me still than crypto does.
Like, the way it works doesn't make sense to me.
No, I don't understand really the way it works.
But the fact that
I know it's like you own this much share of a company.
Yeah.
And when the company does good,
share goes up.
It goes up. When the company does bad, they go down. And should you sell or should you hold? I mean, I feel like from my non-stock brain, I feel like that's the basics.
I feel like that's a baseline understanding.
Obviously we're going to have some absolute stock chads out there who are like, actually, I took 12 years of stock in business. So let me tell you how it really goes.
I invested in
call me the
Tesla
Wolf
in
of Wall Street,
1998.
So, yeah.
But yeah, crypto, if you don't know what it is, I don't either. So
I mean, honestly, I feel like if anybody, I should probably know it the most.
So what's your most basic understanding of cryptocurrency?
See, okay.
And your opinion. Explain what it is, and then explain your opinion on it.
So this definition is not going to be good because, TLDR, I hate crypto. Long story short, so I really could care less to look into it and what even it is.
I thought about like doing research on this, but why not just have it come from a uneducated mind instead?
Yeah, so coming from my uneducated crypto mind, basically, as it sounds, cryptocurrency is digital online money.
But it's not US dollars.
It's its own
unit
of currency. So there's different types. The most popular one and most long-running one is Bitcoin. And basically, but this is where it gets really hard because, well, obviously, in different countries, a dollar in USD is different somewhere else.
Right.
So, like, 100 yen in Japan is $1 in the US, roughly, So, but in cryptocurrency, like, especially the more interesting ones, you usually won't even have a whole Bitcoin, but you'll still have it equal a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like another,
Yeah,
so
like 1 Bitcoin is a lot.
like one Bitcoin, like not, I doubt there's that many people that have multiple whole Bitcoins, because you would probably have like millions of dollars, okay, if you did that.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be like, absolute minuscule fractions of a certain cryptocurrency, and it'll still be worth like hundreds or thousands of dollars.
And that's kind of like where the mining comes in, right? Because
Yeah.
you're trying to piece together
Yeah,
like an entire bit.
You're trying to collect. Yeah, you're trying to collect as much as possible. Obviously to gain as much money as possible. I mean, yeah, obviously to get, I think to get a whole Bitcoin a whole whatever.
Once again, we're just acting like we know what we're talking
I know, I'm
about.
not even acting like I know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying what I know, what I think I know.
But long story short, it's a confusing online form of currency, and it's
okay. 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 I'm gonna tell this right now. If you do cryptocurrency, good for you. But I don't.
And
like
you're
it.
not an absolute like jerk about
And
it.
you're not an absolute meathead about it. But I don't like it for many reasons. Well, one, okay, I feel like it's still so new that it's so unstable. Like there is literally probably hundreds, if not thousands, of different types, and some only get popular. Okay, so for example, there's this one recently called Dogecoin. Okay,
Everybody was like, "Oh, what if we made this
okay,
popular?"
because that whole type of cryptocurrency stems from an internet joke that became money. Okay, because Doge was an internet joke, which like, oh, let's make a Doge coin.
Yes.
And then Elon Musk was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a bunch of this, and then it shot up in price.
And now it's actually
worth a lot of money. So if you have some, you're kind of chilling, But
then the flip question is, if you're rich in Bitcoin, what can you actually do with it though?
yeah, because I know you can like transfer it to like a crypto wallet, and then you can like,
It's not like you can just transfer it to your bank account.
Selling a stock, I feel like you sell it, a couple days later you get the stock money. But I feel like crypto's, granted we've never done it, so we don't exactly know how it's done. You sell it, and obviously at some point you get some money back. But so the other reason why I don't like cryptocurrency is because the people who are, no offense, crypto freaks, okay, that are absolutely obsessed with it, they are ruining the market of so many other things.
Right.
Because, okay, so here's why. Because to mine, quote unquote, mine cryptocurrency, you need a very powerful computer, because it takes a lot of processing power
to gain more of them.
I think filter through the internet to get the cryptocurrency.
That part doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna be honest,
at
that
all.
doesn't really make sense to me either, and I think that's how it worked. But yet again, we're not professionals.
They make it sound like it's an Easter egg on the internet to find these.
Yeah, I don't exactly know.
I don't know how that works.
All I do know is, anybody who cryptocurrency mines, they always need a very powerful computer. You can't just do it with your old Dell laptop, because that ain't gonna get you nothing.
And everybody was doing it in quarantine last year.
Yes, because, like I said, it needs a lot of processing power, and it needs to run 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't, if let's say you have it running on your home computer, you can't use your computer at all, because it'll be running your computer to maximum like power, so you can't use anything else. Okay, and so because of that, people were buying all the most top and best computer parts, because not only does it run, it needs something to run it fast and to keep the computer cool, because it's running hot and it's running all the time and it's running fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all these factors. And what other computers have such power, cooling, and longevity potentials than gaming computers?
Yeah.
Because gaming computers get hot, so they're water cooled. Games these days are graphically intense, so you need faster parts, and because you need faster parts, you just need, like I said, more cooling and stuff. So people were buying up hundreds of these top of the line high-end computer parts that are usually used for computer gaming or like other, processing heavy projects, like on like digital engineering and
Sure.
video editing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was completely ruining the market
Really was.
because there was none of them on the internet, and the ones that were the picked over ones that nobody wanted, and the ones that were still were the price was skyrocketed, and people were, obviously this goes into the whole slightly the hype beast mindset where people were reselling them on, third party websites like eBay for, 3 times the price because they know what people wanted them for. And
Yes. I don't know if we touched on this already, but scalpers are even worse than
yeah.
hype
And
beasts.
this was terrible because, well, one, anybody who was trying to build a new computer at the time, good luck getting a decent part for your computer because it's going to be nowhere. Ironically, I was one of those people last year
So it
trying
took
to
you
build a new
forever to
computer.
get one.
Took me forever. Okay. And also, the reason why I don't like this is the people who are really into it. Like I said, if you're into it, that's okay. But not say really into it, but like the people who are so obsessed with it, I heard there were cases where people were hacking into someone else's computer.
Yeah.
So if somebody knew someone else that had a high-end computer, they would hack into their computer, and without the person knowing, they would harness that person's computer power for themselves
Crazy.
to mine the cryptocurrency. So you'd be like, why is my computer running at maximum? Nothing would be open, but in the background, some dude over in who knows Timbuktu, who knows where, hacked into your computer and is trying to mine Bitcoin off of
And
it.
then obviously, this is getting criminal now.
Yeah, now it's criminal. And so
But so then once again, there's a very low chance that you have to worry about your computer getting
okay,
crypto
yeah,
hacked.
don't worry about that because it's not like that's gonna happen every day. Okay, it's just it was just some things that I heard, but
yeah, anyway, I guess that's all we gotta know about that.
yeah, I mean, realistically, I could probably talk crap about cryptocurrency forever.
This has really
but-
turned into a tech rant than
Yeah.
a tech informity.
Yeah,
But that's
more of the story. There are benefits, but there's also a lot of bad things that have stemmed because of it.
as you see, with every new type of technology, there comes plenty of downsides.
Yeah.
So yeah, to go hand in hand with modern digital money trading,
I feel like this one's gonna be mostly on you.
I don't. Once again, like you, I'll explain this to the best of my
I
ability.
kind of went on a rant with crypto. So
we
you
kind of
should do
we kind of went
NFTs.
on a crypto rant, but that's okay. One thing that I'm just so intrigued and confused by them is these things called NFTs, which is I didn't even write down what it means. It means
Do you know?
it's non-fungible tokens, I think.
I'll look it up here. Keep going.
So I was looking up.
Yeah, non-fungible token. You're right. Okay.
And it's not fundable. It's
Fungible.
fungible, like fungus.
Like fungi, but then BLE at the end.
Yeah. Apparently, what that means is that if something is non-fungible, it means it's basically non-tradable or cannot be interchanged for something else like it. Quote unquote, it's one of a kind.
Yeah, but it's all digital.
It's something digital that's one of a kind.
Which you might think, how can something digital be one of a kind? Because everything on the internet can be duplicated.
Now, even though this explanation doesn't make any sense to me, I'm going to say it anyway. The industry describes it this way. NFTs are a way of, it's mostly for selling like digital art and things that are like digitally collectible, I guess.
So like anything like art, music, videos, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because like, some artists have like dropped like music tracks or like filmmakers have been dropping like short films.
I have seen some things about how some people are saying that certain directors should sell movie stills
Yeah.
as NFTs. So people were saying
Like before the movie comes out, or
no. Well, even movies that have been out. So some people were saying, I saw this post that people were saying that Quentin Tarantino
I just saw that
should sell the original like movie like file screenshots of like Pulp Fiction and stuff like that.
That's interesting because I saw that he started doing that.
Yeah.
But now the original film producing company is saying that they're infringing on his rights.
Yeah.
And that they're suing him for it now.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently it's a thing where you can make a digital art, you can sell it for copious amounts of digital. I wouldn't be surprised if you can sell it for Bitcoins, but
I mean, probably, but that's
a whole nother.
That's a whole nother. Yeah, what the heck?
But apparently, you have an art piece, and when you sell it to someone, that person has the sole rights of owning the only one that digitally exists anywhere. But then again, you're like, on the internet, everything could be duplicated.
I'm just gonna right click and hit save image.
But even though it could technically be visually duplicated, the person just has the personal satisfaction of owning the trademarked original version of it.
And I just saw a video recently about this, and I mean, it kind of gave more insight onto it, but at the same time, I was like, this still, I mean, personally, I think
it's pretty dumb.
We think NFTs are funny, but they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you see something, you're like, oh, yo, this is an NFT now?
Yeah. Well, because the video that I saw, it was saying how, even if, someone sold a digital art piece to someone for, X amount of money, but someone else, let's say made a copy of that. So now there's two digital versions of this. You're like, oh, which one is which?
You're not going to know.
Well, that's what this video is saying, how technically you can find out because, this is about to get real technical, but
what, into like the data of the image or something?
Because so every image has its own data, it's like metadata or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, technically, if you were to buy one and own it, you or the person who sold it to you, they could look into the properties of that file and be like, oh, and see by its data that this is the real one. And although the other picture, which on the surface looks the exact same, you'd never know the difference.
Yeah.
By its data, they'd be like, this is a fake and this is a real.
But then again, who really cares?
But at the same time, that's a lot of work, and yeah, who cares? So,
if you want to break it down, if you want to compare it to like physical things, apparently it's, if you think about, in the world, there was the original Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can buy a print of the Mona Lisa.
And have it look the exact same.
It looks exactly the same.
You could frame it and have it look the exact same.
But obviously, it's not worth as much as the original.
No, because I feel like this is on some National Treasure stuff. I know, obviously, original paintings have, they can, not DNA test it, but, they do like the chemical testing on like things.
I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, but okay, let's just call it painting DNA testing. Paint DNA,
art DNA.
Yeah, and because that's how they can find out things are fakes or or if it's the real deal. But
for physical,
it makes sense.
Possessions,
for physical, yeah.
It makes sense. Like obviously, you have an original painting. It's
Obviously,
much better than a print.
Obviously, I'm not going to go to Walmart and buy Mona Lisa and claim it's the real one, you know,
because you just look like a doofus.
Because I'm like, bro, look at my Mona Lisa in a 9x12 poster board.
Yeah, and no one's gonna care.
No one's gonna care.
So I feel like that doesn't work exactly the same with the way they say it does with NFTs.
Yeah.
But whatever floats your boat, man.
I still think it's still a little flawed because it's definitely new. I'd say within the past year at least. We didn't even start hearing about it until last year.
Crypto's been around for a decade probably.
Yeah.
But this is only a couple of years old.
Yeah.
So it's very, at the very least, it's very intriguing to see how this kind of stuff works.
I have no issue with NFTs as I do crypto. So, for example, this is a good example. Technically, if we wanted to, which we don't know how we would do that, but we could sell this very episode of the podcast as an NFT.
Yeah.
And then
one person could own it.
And then whoever purchased it, they would have the rights to this episode, and they would own it.
Yes.
And they could do whatever they want with it.
Really?
You know,
They
because
could?
they would own it. You know,
So-
but only they would own it. You know,
Maybe,
so
maybe we'll do that.
maybe we'll do that. Maybe you'll never hear this episode. This is the lost episode.
So heard it here, folks. After this releases, the first official Fresh Squeeze NFT episode is launching.
Oh no!
So, got any bidders? Bidders?
Any bidders?
Going once?
Who's trying to drop 5Gs on an episode?
There we go. We gotta forget monetizing.
Forget monetizing. All right.
We're selling NFTs to fund this show.
Yeah.
So yeah, wait for that. This weekend, first NFT.
Who wants
drop.
to buy our episode NFT?
So yeah, that's that, man.
So hopefully, maybe some of that or any of that made sense to you. If not, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's always interesting to delve into modern technology.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to be able to convince myself of what these things mean. I'm sure for most people this was either very eye-opening or you're lost. But
I feel like it's even interesting considering, since this is like I feel like this is some of the most modern technology, and even like us, like the young people are still like, obviously there's some people who understand, but like even some of like the actual young generation still is confused by it. Since it's so modern.
like it's
you know?
not like we know anybody who is like, oh,
Like,
I'm super into this.
Like I
but-
have friends that have some cryptocurrency.
Well, yeah,
but
they're not super into
Yeah, but they're
it.
just like, oh, I bought some because I saw it. Like
Yeah.
So
Eventually, it will become like stocks or something.
Yeah.
But, so that's that today. Really got educated in your more than daily amount of tech knowledge. So thanks for listening along with us today, talking about data zucking and non-fungibles.
non-fungibles.
So, yep, that really wraps it up. That was a really in-depth tech conversation.
That was pretty intense.
So, even though we most likely will not be dropping any actual NFTs, you can follow us along on broke social media apps like Instagram, and then go on Twitter where it's not that bad.
Right.
Yeah. The show is also on apps like Spotify and YouTube, which are probably tracking our data, but you'll never know.
But you'll never know because they won't ask you.
So you may be getting Fresh Squeeze ads.
You may. I hope you do.
I didn't even know we were running ads.
Dude, we are now.
So if it floats your boat, check those out. And that's all we got this week. So you got anything to round it out with us?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay, well, go invest in something.
Go invest. All right.
All right, we'll be back next week.